Alright, next one up is this 2012 F-150 tailgate. Gonna be replacing it. Customer dropped it off. I don't have the vehicle, but you can see how badly it's twisted. I think he was loading an ATV in. It must have slipped off the ramp or something on this edge, but you can see it buckled it along where the bottom of the hinge, the latch mounts in it, and just ripped the frame off the skin. I'm gonna replace it with a Kappa certified aftermarket gate. I was gonna get him a used OEM gate, but it was gonna be a couple $100 more than what I could get the aftermarket gate for. So I'm gonna take all the emblems off, make sure I don't break anything. Take the handle out, make sure it's good, nothing's broken there, and the cap, and also this latch to make sure. I gotta take it all out anyway, but I gotta make sure nothing's broken because I only have a few days with it, and I need to get any parts that I need for it on the way. I was able to get the gate yesterday. I've had this for about a week, but I just got the gate yesterday, and I also only got a couple more days with it to get what I need as far as the internal parts. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it over, get this part, the strip that goes along here with the torque screws in it, get that access panel off. It is bent, but I think I can just straighten that out since it's got a spray-in liner on it too, so it doesn't really have to be perfect. As long as I can flatten it out, it'll, any minor imperfections won't show in it. And that panel's not really that cheap either, so I'm gonna have to save it. And we get this thing off, get the handle and the latches and emblems off, make sure everything's still good. Be back when I got it taken apart. Alright, everything's out. The latch here was slightly bent a little bit, just ever so slightly. I was able to hammer that back down flat and it's working fine. I was able to get it to latch. I believe it was this one. But I can latch it and it pulls and releases just fine, so that should be okay. It is locking at least, that's the safety part of it. And it will release, so I'm going to leave that alone. The F-150 emblem, and I was able to look from inside. I got the inside guts out of it. I had to cut this section open here and fold it open both ways so I could get to the tabs that hold the top cap on. But I folded that back in so there's not any jagged edges sticking out of it. I had to get into the top rail and squeeze all these little tabs. If you go to pull this off, you'll actually just rip them off the cap and you won't be able to save it. Had to get that off so now it can sit, regain its shape a little bit, and I can heat it up on this end and straighten it back out when I go to put it on. But the F-150 emblem, I was able to see all this from inside the gate. It's just got clips on the end to hold it in these two slots and tape on the inside between the two. So I'll probably just reapply some tape there. This Ford emblem, it's got two locators. You can see those sticking up. Just located on the gate, and the rest of it's taped. So I may put some tape, but I might also put, like right in here, put some just some clear adhesive just to glue it back together too. So kind of reinforce that. Handle looks okay. I don't see anything broken. Still works. Flex fuel emblem. There's nothing behind it but tape. And when I get ready to put that on the new one, I'll come back and I'll measure. This was a little over an inch and probably inch and a half up from this body line here. I'll use this as a reference to put this back on the new one. Main thing I did to get these emblems off, I just ran the putty knife underneath it on both sides and then down this way, popped it right up. Release those clips. Those will actually come up from this side if you just pull, but I actually went in from the inside and pushed them down a little bit to get it started and rammed this underneath the middle of it. If I had to repaint this gate, I would have been a lot more careful around here because I scarred all this up with the knife. But I'm not going to have to repaint this gate. I'm replacing it, so I just did what I had to do to get it out. I'm not worried about the finish here. I'm going to go ahead and get the other gate out of the box over there. Make sure it's right. Just mirror match it. I don't believe this panel comes with it. I'm gonna check real quick and see if it's in the box. I don't think it is, but if I do need to straighten this, I'll just flip it over and probably just stand on it, get this dent out, this right here, just to get it halfway flat, and then I'll screw it down to the other gate. That'll hold it down flat anyway. I'll just get it, 90% of the way there, and then screw it on down. We'll go ahead and get the gate out, start getting it prepped. All right, let's see what we got here. I checked it at the supplier, but I didn't look on the back side to see if that access panel was in here. And it's not in there. One other thing I was wondering about too, and I think it's already installed in the gate. This piece right here is what I was wondering about. Got this tension or a torsion bar inside here, so that as the gate drops, it'll twist that bar. And that is installed. You see it running through there. Hinges are welded in place and everything, so it's the same thing here. If you can see that piece there with the elliptical hole. Rod runs down through the tailgate right there. And the other side has a bushing in there that I'm going to have to get out. Transfer over to this. This is just bare, no bushing. I think I remember that from an older F-150 tailgate. I think they're still doing the same thing on this one. Everything looks good. I'm going to make sure the emblem will slide in here, and the Ford emblem here, just to make sure I don't need to enlarge the holes or file it out to make it fit, because I want to do that before I paint it, so that I'll get paint cover the bare metal if I have to do that. So I'm going to pre-fit these parts. I'll show you what it looks like when I get those on there. Alright, everything looks good. Emblem slots match up pretty well. I don't want to snap it in just yet, but I think it'll fall right in there. Ford emblem. There's one hole there and then a slotted hole here, so it's, as long as it's in the ballpark, it's going to just about have to fit, and it looks pretty good. Handle dropped right in. Even the flex fuel emblem fit perfect. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing prepped, get it ready to paint. That's really all it needs. Okay, I've got the tailgate ready to paint. I ran the DA over the outside in these large sections that I could get to, and the rest of it was scuff pad. I also went ahead and did the back. I scuffed the entire back of it. He is going to get the spray-in liner put back over the bottom section, but just in case he never gets around to it or he decides not to, I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole gate. That way if he decides not to, it's painted, and if he does and it takes him a year to get around to doing it, the C-coat here won't fade away and start to rust the gate. So that's just going to be the best thing to do, is go ahead and just paint the whole thing. And I've got it on this rack. I had to add some extensions to the center bar here, and I've got it held just in the hole here for the latch. And this is mostly just a guide right here, just to keep it from swinging. It's not really in a hole. It's just inside the elliptical slot there. And over on this side, it wouldn't quite fit all the way in the hole, but I've got the hook just sort of jammed in there to where it's put a little pressure on it, keeping it from swinging. This way I can get to the entire gate, all around the edges, front and back at the same time. Really need two people to hang it like that, but I was able to manage. Since I was holding it with my bare hands, I'm going to have to wipe it down again really well, which I was going to do anyway. But I'll hit it 2 or 3 times with the wax and grease remover, and I'll get to spraying here in a second. Okay, it's ready to go. I've got this area taped off from the inside. I can't get to this, but this will just keep the overspray from the back side. When I spray through here, it would have gone through and gotten on the outside, so I want to prevent any dry spray from getting on the outside there as much as I can. I'm not too worried about this in here. You could go back and back tape all these in here, but that's not really necessary. He's going to get the back of it covered up with spray-in liner anyway. At least that's what he says. I'm going to go ahead and get it sealed, let it sit for about 20 minutes, and I'll come back with the color and clear. Alright, I'm ready to spray the sealer on the back. I'm going to go around the back part and the jams. Then I'm going to go re-tack the front to get the overspray off and seal it last so that the overspray doesn't land in it from the back. Alright, that'll sit for about 20-30 minutes. Alright, that's set for about 25 minutes, and we'll start spraying the base coat on the back, just like I did the sealer, go from the back to the front. I'll be back when it's ready for clear. Alright, it's time for the clear. I'm going to spray the back first, tack the front real quick, spray the front, come back immediately and do the back again, and then go back to the front. By the time I get from back to front, the back will be ready to go again. I forgot to move you over, but I'll put you on the front for the next coat. All right, second coat. Looks good. I think I might have gotten it as rough as Ford did. All Alright, here it is. Looks about like the factory finish. Of course, I was trying to get a little bit better than that, but I think it's going to match it pretty well. These gates have a pretty rough finish on them in the factory. But at least it's nice and even. I'll have to denib it. But that's about it. Here's the back. It's a shame this will get covered up, but I want to go ahead and do it right. Be back when it's put together and polished. Alright, I just got finished denibbing and polishing this. Getting ready to put the emblems on it. Turned out pretty nice. I don't think he's going to be able to tell the difference between this and the factory finish. I tried to leave a little bit of texture to it. And really, this is how I sprayed it. I just hit the spots with the little Kovacs block with the Tailgate sheets on it. I'm going to go ahead and get it trimmed out here, and I'll give you a quick look when it's complete. It won't be mounted on the truck, it's just going to come pick it up. Alright, it's ready to go. Everything's lined up really, really well on this aftermarket gate. I'm really surprised. Honestly, if you told me it was an OEM gate and I didn't know any better, I wouldn't be able to tell it. Everything fits great. Everything lines up, even all these little pins here that hold the cap in the back. Every one of those lined up perfectly. Still have to put the cover over the access panel here over the hole, but both of the bolts went right into the latch, no problem. Even the little lock, there's a slot there. Probably see it underneath the cable. There's a locator slot for that bracket to go in behind the bolt. That lined up perfectly on both sides too, so pretty awesome aftermarket gate. See you on the next one.